As I mentioned this morning, it really helped me a lot to somehow get unstuck from these circles that me and my company that we are going through. So we are just one of many companies, not only in Germany but worldwide, that we are struggling what to do, how to do. And actually my idea around this presentation and this, I would say more like interaction with you, is it might sound a bit disruptive. And actually I would like to start with some background. My profession, I'm an architect, and 10 years ago I moved from being an architect, working for clients, to client side. So I started working as a corporate real estate professional, and it had different title changed. So now I'm workplace manager. Before that it was location manager, it was real estate manager. I was working for international companies, and it's also coincidence that I finalized my master thesis for MBA studies right before pandemic. Oh, here it is. Right before pandemic started, and what I was exploring in my thesis is actually how workplace experience is influencing employee engagement. And I was looking into academia and different studies, analysis from companies like CBRE, Leesman, collecting all this data. And after this experience of 16, 17 months, I'm not counting anymore, I still think that we shouldn't forget what praxis and experience taught us in, let's say, modern office in last 30 years. This is the reason why I would like to walk you through Yes, we have workplace. This is what we are mentioning, workplace experience, our offices. Nevertheless, this is just one of the layers that is influencing employee engagement. And once when we have engaged employees, from my opinion and experience, then we can sky is the limit. We can really, as a company and as employees, enjoying other employees, really be at our maximum and do everything else. What am I going to show here and somehow present what I learned and what is something that I call flow, which brings us to engaged employees. And it starts from leadership. It starts from those who are driving the company, who are setting the direction where we are going, and how leaders of the company are bringing us what we heard also today, bringing us to this journey. How do they take care of well-being, how they are connected with employees, having in some situations a top-down approach. Also, they want to hear what their teams are having to say. I already mentioned that I was working for international big companies like Siemens, for example, and when we wanted to implement transformation change, of course, company like Siemens has all kind of framework, guidance, how to set up new office, how to do different kind of steps in a transformation. What I learned, if in different country, I was in Serbia, it doesn't work properly like apple to apple. We had to adjust some of the activities we had, and I think it also took us a bit longer because we had to bring people in this transformation and to explain why actually to give them explanation. They said, yeah, if something works in Germany or Austria or China, wherever Siemens had offices, it doesn't mean that it works with us. So we had to introduce, besides this framework that we had, some additional tools to bring them to a change. Mentioning change, and also I'm happy to hear, comparing to when I did this research, not many companies had change management in place. Nowadays it's kind of different, and change management is it's kind of bridge from where we are and where we want to go. And if that's not done properly, what I found as information that every fifth change or transformational project fails to meet objectives. And the fourth layer is workplace. Workplace is coming as a basis or umbrella overarching element when leaders are setting the path, direction where we are going. Then we have culture, or if culture has some areas for improvement, and then change management improperly done. Then workplace, and not only as a physical presence, also what we learned along these 16 months, workplace experience, then it's easier for us experts working in this field to make a proper change management. And then in the middle is actually engaged employees who in this ecosystem and this environment, they bring them whole selves. They are really, they are passionate, they want to be there, they are satisfied, the satisfaction brings motivation, and from motivation there is engagement, and it leads to experience, and something that's definitely why we are here, why we are working for companies, and why companies are having us, because at the end of the day we want to success, to be profitable together. As I said, yes, I did this research, and it was relevant, and I could implement this in projects as I was working, transformation in Siemens. It was really going through from traditional single office system, having desks, offices, pictures of family, dogs, cats, lockers, going into something completely different, going into sharing setup, and it wasn't easy. I will come to that later, what steps we had to do. And then this happened, this interesting 16 months. And we were also, currently I'm working for the company in the music industry. We were checking the pulse, we were asking our employees, we were even introducing, it was quite a successful online virtual events. It was working perfectly. Nevertheless, we, especially in the last couple of months, we were starting to receive questions. Okay, what is the next? We want to make decisions. We want to, our company has headquarters in Berlin, and we also have in US and Asia offices, and they asked us, hey, we want to move, we want to make a live decision, what we are going to do. And then it was time to how we are calling in and how we are approaching in our company is to set the new scene. Yes, we have learnings from the past, we are not going to forget them, but how to proceed from there. Sorry. Actually, we had, I'm working closely with a people team and people workplace team. We were thinking how to start, what is the basis? Something that we are calling, which is logical, new ways of working. Okay, that is in general. project, and this is what we want to achieve. But what are the elements there? And how we defined is to come up with a flexible work policy. This is how we call it, and to define how we are going and where to use workplaces regardless of the location. And in between, what is connecting those two are key culture enablers that, okay, we are used to, and the company I'm currently working for, they didn't have any kind of flexibility. It was when you are in the office, you are working. When you are not in the office, you're not working. So it was really, really a huge shift. So we had to make this bridge between flexibility, what we want to offer, and then being in these different positions. And that's why we are still defining what is this going to be, and we are planning in the course of this year to have workshops like how to lead remote teams, how to use your remote office wherever you are to take care of ergonomics. And why we are doing this is actually, I really enjoyed yesterday, and one of the takeaways is in this remote setup, we are sitting in our perfectly, hopefully, set up workplace, and we are at home or at the beach, depends, and then we receive a new offer from the company, and everything is the same. We only change the logo. We return via mail laptop, and we receive a new one, and okay, we continue almost the same. So why do we need this culture enables? We need this to have connection with the company, to keep, or for new joiners, I also we have in the company, and some of you joined the company during pandemic. Okay, how could I connect myself with this company? So this is something we need to build commitment, to build belonging, and place of work. Is it what I previously mentioned, beach or my home or a co-working space? I'm still working for this company, and I still live values and how we are making team agreements. Is it sync or async working? So this is what we need, and something that is here. It's not anymore the future. Hybrid work depends. Frankly spoken, flexible work policy. We are still not there yet, because we are still thinking, should we allow complete flexibility and freedom of choice for our employees, or we would define 2-3 days a week. We are still considering. But this is something what's going to be the reality. And finally, all this what we are doing, and workplace, as I already mentioned, is just one of the layers. These are the cross-functional teams. It's a team, leadership, IT team. Actually, all of us, we are building employee experience. And one thing that ultimately we would like to achieve once, when somebody would say, hey, how does it feel, or what would you say working for this company? Like, this is a great place to work. So all this, we are working in a favor of employee experience. And without elements, without generic key enablers, it's also what I think Max mentioned. If we have all this in place, and then system is not working, and I don't have a proper VPN connection, I don't have a proper systems in place. So actually, there is a variety of factors influencing this. And the thing is that we, as a company, and then as somebody who is leading workplace transformation, we all the time we have to have this full picture in front of us before we make any kind of decision, like which kind of tool are we going to use. Okay, but why do you need this tool? And let's introduce training. And what I mentioned also with my question around coaching. We as a company, okay, we identify areas for improvement, and then we would go as a part of this whole picture. And I would like briefly to each of these 5 elements just to present from perspective what is positively driven this factor, and what can be even, and I experienced this in my previous projects, it can be even toxic, and it can ruin completely the success of the transformational project. So let's start with engagement. Engagement is, and this is something what we can see, what we can feel when a person is engaged and advocating for the company, for their teams, for their work. It's really, I'm there as a physically, it doesn't have to be office. It can be now with a, when I did this research, it was office. But now we learned that it can be anywhere, and it's, I'm not just physically present, it's psychologically. My purpose is connected with the purpose of the company. I know why I'm here, what am I doing, and also emotionally. It's if I'm okay, yeah, great, this day I'm in my full speed, my maximum. If I'm also not okay, I will just speak with my peers or with my manager. It's not my day. I would like to take off, or just to do something focused without interaction. It's also relevant, and these are just some of the findings from my study, and I was negatively surprised with the extent of disengagement within the employees. And all these studies that I was looking into it were global, and not just what I mentioned, the influence of the culture. It was across the board, and it was really very alerting. And I think with a pandemic, which brought additional disconnection, this is still this is even harder, how to come back and what to do in terms of having engaged employees. I mentioned leadership. It's what I heard once and experienced is, it doesn't mean that when there is a meeting and that only the person who has the highest salary should speak. It's not, we are leaders and we will tell you what to do, how to do. So it's also a leader who needs to understand when is the time to make a decision. Okay, times are uncertainty, we don't know what's going to happen. This is what we are going to do, but also in most of the cases, to check the pulse of their teams. What do you think? What we should do? And they should be the one in workplace transformational projects. In this case, what I mentioned, coming from single offices to open space, I invited CEO and CFO. Please come to the open space, share it, test it, be role models that you can also show by example that this really works. And what is happening, and one of the favorite quotes I'm seeing very often on LinkedIn is that people are not leaving toxic culture, or in terms of if they're overloaded. Simply if the leader is not someone they're resonating with, they're leaving. So I think it's just yes, from strategic point of view, I'm leading this company, but I'm also responsible. I have to be also vulnerable to show my emotions, and it's a combination. Very often leaders are also therapists, and company culture. It's very interesting experience I had, and also learning through my research, no matter how developed and details guidebooks or some examples we could have, if we don't understand what is actually happening, and now in this case of finding new ways of working, if the culture had previously issues, this is the first thing we need to solve, and then we should find the new ways of working, whatever it means in different companies. And to look into this specific company, there are no one size or a blanket solution, but what actually works for us. In terms of change management, unfortunately, I didn't have this luck to have change managers with me, and what happened is we didn't bring employees early enough with us on a journey, and they were showing a high level of resistance, of fear. What does it mean for me? All of a sudden, from having my desk one-on-one, we were moving to 80% of sharing ratio, or even higher. They were afraid, does it mean that I'm going to lose my job? Is it going to be something negatively for me? And it took us really much longer just to bring people to the level of common sense that we are doing this for them, and it's nothing to do with we just see cost-saving aspects, or this is usually they didn't like to hear it's a management decision. So this is where we failed, but also we learned from this. And in current project, the first thing we are doing is depending with whom we are speaking, employees or middle management or C-level, we are adjusting approach in this change management. And then coming to what I mentioned as workplace experience, this is when all these elements are met and we have them in place. Then workplace is a matter of where do we what we are doing, but it's not the only thing. If I also learned examples of the award-winning spaces in worldwide or in some specific category, but employees, they were not engaged. For them, it wasn't enough just to have cozy couches, healthy food, things like that. If all these underlying factors beneath were not set, then all this workplace and investment is we could use it for something else. And basically, what is the goal? To identify needs of employees, okay, also company. So leaders they have two hats or two pair of shoes, working for a company and also employee interest, and then in the middle to meet these needs and this aspect, and then this is where happiness and success is lying. And also what I wanted to share with you is, and this is these factors of employee engagement. Yes, I will start with engagement. Also, I learned regardless where the company, where employee or company is located, especially I think now these borders are fading. If teams are not working together, if there is the values, if it's also, I know for examples that there are values presented on a company webpage, or when new joiners are receiving some new joiners said, and we could hear a lot if they're not living these values, if they are not what was happening before. In case of my experience, companies were in teams were working in silos, and it's even worse now with this situation. And then on the other side, these are examples. Of course, we will share with you presentations. What is happening and what is downside if employees disengaged, he doesn't work as he doesn't represent ambassador of this company, and most likely the person is going to influence others, and this level of toxicity I hope you didn't feel in your workplaces, but this is something what should be on agenda of every company, to work on engagement, and then with engagement we will find a way how to reshape our offices. We will find a way, workplace management professionals, how to convince our leaders to invest into workplaces. And also on additional level is from engagement. We are going to experience this multi-layered experience, and something that is unfortunately, what I also experienced is that employees and also leadership team, they are looking into either workplace or people team or change management team, like expecting come here and make a miracle. But if it's not working, this is one of my favorite examples. We really set up everything in a perfect order, and then we don't have some cables to use this virtual setup. And yes, we can. Yesterday we heard also around attracting talents, and I'm always wondering. And in my case, and in case when I see newcomers, okay, I'm coming. Onboarding has been done perfectly. I see myself in this company, and then something is over the period of time missing. The companies are not living their values, and the company, leadership, senior management, they are all responsible for the employee experience. And it brings us to the moment when we need to make decisions. And in case of my company, we promised that we will come up with some kind of policy that employees can make their life choices. And the more I'm providing content analysis to my management, they are asking, okay, give me the data, give me the benchmark, give me something that I can rely on. And what I'm saying, I will not give you these answers, and you won't find them anywhere. And even if we look into other companies, they're doing the same, they're testing. So we need to do some tests, we need to pivot, we just have to be brave and do something. And this week we had one of the finally successful meetings when we proposed one floor to be a test floor that we can learn from it. And then in a couple of months, when we anyway have to plan the budget for the next year, we will incorporate learnings. But unfortunately, it will be really low budget. We are missing this trust. And the last thing I would like to close with, I just have to help myself with the name. I don't know if you heard, this is one of my favorite TED Talks. It's from psychiatrist Robert Waldinger, and this is the longest study conducted in, maybe in general, but definitely in this field, when they, for 75 years, they observed people, and they learned that at the end of the life, when they would ask someone, what would you tell your young self, or what are you missing? All of them were not mentioning cars, position, titles. It's social interaction. It's being with others, being surrounded with the people. And what is conclusion? And I think it's so as I said, I don't have also answers. We have to do our best, and we have to provide the what is the most optimal, and time will show. And I think the employees will actually return in some form in the office. We are social beings, and with the flexibility and choices provided, people will just decide, okay, it's great if I'm there from time to time. I need this, something is missing. And actually, there is no blanket solution. Every workplace, every company is unique, and time will show. Thank you.